Hello, everybody. I hope you have a great last day of March. It's the 31st today. And hey, so I did it. And I am so incredibly grateful that you were all watching, following, now celebrate with me. And I just wanted to say, it's just the beginning. And I hope you find this too. So it was an amazing month and I just threw myself in this, 30-day challenge. And you know what? I have never really told you the story. I have always gone to the most important thing, but I've never gone to the context, to give you the context, what was actually happened. And this was what happened on the 25th of June, 2021. Have a look.
Do you do any broadcasting now?
Yeah, every Friday on YouTube.
Every Friday on YouTube. Why don't you start broadcasting every day on YouTube?
Yeah.
Why don't you start no, wait a minute. Why don't you start broadcasting every day on YouTube using this material? Talking about this material. You know, you've got yourself an audience. Talk to them about this material. Talk to them about setting up multiple sources of income. Talk to them about setting goals. Talk to them about no one knows what they're capable of doing. And then let them know that you run courses on this and you have programs on this and that you'll be glad to talk to them and then set up classes outside of the radio show. If you have a passion, follow it. Get your radio show going. That gets you out front, gets people to know you. And you talk about this information. And then say you can help anybody get what they want. Say, if you can tell me what you want, I can show you how to get it. And you can.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Send me a report in a month. Let me know what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay?
With pleasure.
Good.
So the report is now coming, and I know he can feel it. Thank you also for, cheering and being there. And it was definitely like a second good try. And I thought this time I have to do it. So I immediately started to go live after Bob Proctor asked me or proposed me to do it. And I threw myself in. And then, of course, there is the question of, okay, how perfectionist am I? And so there were also other responsibilities. But okay, it's my responsibility. And that's also what I have presented you this time. It's all about your responsibility. And so no way around. So I made it until the 8th day. And then I was thinking, okay, so maybe I could do it better and maybe I should read a little bit more. And so the momentum was gone. And I think it's also a little bit a paradigm of mine. So it has to be perfect and that I can personally also, diminish here a little bit. And so this was something I can already say that I'm so incredibly grateful that I could do it here with you together and also become a little bit more routine. I think it's especially when you do live, everything has to come together to this one moment and you have to be then of course open for everything what comes. I think the more you do it, the better you become. And also the more relaxed you are, okay, if something falls around or if there is like a strange noise coming or something, it's this thing that you have to master. And I wanted to show you, I made my little overview, what am I going to do with you? And I just thought, because maybe you weren't around the last 30 days all the time. And why am I not showing you what I have been doing? And just that you know, you see it here. This here is a link that is open for you. So you could dial in and I am happy to welcome you later on. I think we are having a good half an hour. I want to show you something. And then if you like to be prepared, you can let me know how you found it. You can tell me live. I bring you on. I have here already prepared like a little screen here where we could where we could talk, and I would have you here then, and we can discuss. It's fun. Live video is fun, and the good thing is you just have to be in the moment, that you can just be like you want to be. And that's my mission, of course, as well, that I want to show you how easy it is. And so what am I going to do with you today? First, I wanted to ask you if you have any comments, if you have any ideas, if you want to shout out anything that is related to the Mindset March, let me know, because I can see your reactions here, and I have certainly also the possibility to bring the comments in. So therefore, I'm just writing, hey there, just if you're watching this, write it in the chat so I can see what's going on, and happy to make this as interactive as possible. And you see, I have so many cameras, so I wanted to show you also what am I doing here, how this looks like, how this is set up look like, because my idea is that I would like to inspire you. It's that easy. It's not like you have to have this huge film team anymore. And I want to, just show you a little bit what I have been learning technically, and also what interesting lessons were for me in this year. And so therefore, I am just showing you the lessons now, what I have done in the last 30 days. And just that you know a little bit that, what was the evolution here of this? And I started, I started with the first chapters that I've already done the first days in June. Then when I did my live video, but I enhanced them. And I wanted to start with, make a decision, but then I thought, wow, we have to even go before this, we have to start with thinking, because the first thing you should have in mind is, to think, to not think to have this always result that you are going with this. So I have to have my to-do list today. I put yourself into the feeling, what you would like to achieve, and then visualize it, go into the vibration of it, and then you have the possibility to achieve it much more likely, especially if it's a big goal, of course. If you say, I'm going to the bakery around the corner, this is not a big thing, but there was the idea that if you're going, and you see this here in this, also in this very nice overview here, go with your thought, go in the feeling, then go into the action, and then you have the result. So I'm giving you like a little short summary of what every day was about. And the nice thing I really have to say was that I followed a kind of an intuitive approach here. I didn't have all the lessons planned as of the start. It was by every day, and therefore I was also quite open. There were people coming and were also asking me, what is it about this topic, for example, procrastination, and so I waved that in. But then also it was when I did the lesson that I thought, tomorrow let's go about money mindset, for example, because I thought, it might work well into it. And we have here one of the, really biggest followers. That's so nice you are coming in as well. And I'm saying hello to California. So it's so great you're here, and very much thank you. You were an encouragement for me as well. I was sometimes going live even a little bit later in the European time zone, but you made it, so it was just right for you, and so it was perfect. Thanks so much. Kamal, you are here as well. Proctor Gallagher consultant, so great you have you here. Thank you for your cheers, and as well for your energy and for your support. You are also a live broadcaster, and I am always thrilled to have these thoughts of energy coming together and to create something more. So I'm looking forward what comes with us. So I am going to go for, after I said quickly hello to Matthew and Kamal, let's go back to the chapters. So that was the day number 2. Was like your goal. Basically, set a goal. What is it? What kind of goals can you set? Is a new car already a big goal, or is it something that you have to achieve, or the promotion, or is there something more? And what is the right goal to have to have more energy and to be more energetic and to be driven and to also have a life that you enjoy? And the idea is that you can, or you should, really think about your big goal, your C goal. And this is like a compass then in your life that inspires you and also makes you question, am I really serving my big goal with what I'm doing right now? If I am, well, we can, of course, we all have 24 hours a day, subtracted with the hours of sleep, but okay, what is it you really want to do? And how does the actual topic that you're focusing on really help you to achieve this goal? And so therefore, super important, the goals. Then the next question or the next day was about paradigms when we want to achieve our goal. So what is holding us back? Have you also had the thing, so you're not achieving like everything that you really want to achieve? There are things that you're putting aside or you're procrastinating about it. So the reason is paradigms. And a paradigm is what is your conditioning, your actually everything that fed in your life until now, and especially everything that came in with a lot of repetition and with a lot of emotion, and especially what came in your childhood. And sometimes these paradigms are, well, ruling us until today. I repeat again, it's not sometimes, it's always. The paradigms and our subconscious conditioning is doing the work for us. Or do you remember how you pressed the button to your elevator when you came to your work today, or when you came back home, or how you closed the car door when you went to the shop? No, it's this thing that, of course, our brain has to conserve calories here, and of course to have like this basic program that runs us safe in this environment we're living in. That's great. And so therefore you're also reacting if somebody is coming to you in a certain way, or you are thinking about you have a certain perspective about what is happening, because you're preconditioned, and it's a natural thing. It's the way we have to survive, but not all the preconditions are helpful right now. And it's the thing that we have to discover them, and then we can change them. So that's about paradigms. And you will hear paradigms anyways a lot of times during these recaps. So the results is the next question. And here I was about how do we really achieve the results that we want, and how do paradigms play in? And well, here the idea is, and let me just, let's just jump into the thing that I always love to do, to show you here. This is the stick person, and the way how Bob Proctor always describes it. And let me just start this new here, because this is also something that I really found so helpful to draw during the session, and to show you, live, what this success mindset that Bob Proctor helped us to discover really is about. So the idea is, when you think about your thinking, it's not only the head that is responsible for getting a glass of water, or bringing you to work, or having a great idea how to save the world. It's more like this. It is your conscious mind, and it's your subconscious mind. And the conscious mind is is originating ideas. Okay, I make OR. So it is also accepting something that comes from outside, but it can also reject things that come from outside. And the subconscious mind is, getting these thoughts, these sensations that come from the outside, that are hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, tasting, the 5 outer senses. Of course, this goes into the conscious and also directly into the subconscious, and it is distributed into the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind especially records this if it is repeated for many times and if it is with a lot of emotion. So if you have a situation, or if something is always happening to you and it's kind of frustrating, then you will trickle this down, or this will trickle down in your subconscious mind. The other way around, if somebody is always cheering for you and you feel like the best, so this is going into your subconscious mind, and especially for children. So therefore, the paradigm and the conditioning, of course, also describes our self-value. So then we have the body, and the body is then the one that reacts, of course. It gets into action, and the action is then going for the result. And the question is not, what are you thinking? What are you thinking here? Because you might have super great plans to get the promotion, to get faster where you want to go, and to become like a rock star. It is what is happening here in the subconscious mind. And this is where we have to look at, and where we have to change, and where we can change. And that's the great thing. And that was just my excursion when I am explaining you for very, very quick the results. And so therefore I'm moving on, because we have 30 chapters. The purpose, my favorite, and also what I asked Bob Proctor, a paradigm of mine, is that, okay, so somebody has to pay the bills, right? So you cannot live on your dreams. And the question is that really true? Or is this really the reality? Or is this, is this a paradigm? And therefore I was basically looking for this answer for all of my life, and also looked for, okay, what do purpose-driven organizations do differently? And here, this is just based on a great article from Bob Proctor, where we are assessing, okay, what is it really that you should follow? Is it the purpose? How do also objectives play in, like your vision play in? And how should you also have goals then trickle down from your purpose? And I can already tell you, Bob Proctor's point of view is that the purpose is that the thing that you love doing, and you should follow your purpose. Next chapter is Be, Do, Have, how to pursue goals, and why is it, and that's again a little bit more into detail, that we should be it before we do it, and then we can have it. And normally we go the other way around. We say, okay, I can do this if I have it. I can start, for example, working for you if I have the definitive, if you give me this or this and that. But if you're still super on fire for the project, so just start for it, be in your best intention and do what you can. And so that's a little bit the idea. And especially when it comes to your goals, you should then bring yourself into the mindset of how it is, how you are the person that you already want to become, and then be it, because then you have another energy. And so why is there a horse on the picture and not you or somebody else? It is because the example was that, especially if you work with horses, you have to be it. The horse senses everything much more likely than humans do. but it's the same principle. If you are not sure about what you are doing, that the horse will sense it. Therefore, a great article. Also, feel free to have a look at the replay. The same thing also works for humans as well. So if you are coming into your new position, you're not really having this idea what you want to do. If you would say, I'm finding out and probably I cannot do it, people will sense it. Next day was the superpowers. I called it a little bit the superpowers. Bob Proctor is calling it the mental faculties. These mental faculties are the reason, let me just, no, I always forget this, sorry. The perception, reason. Then we have the will, the mind, and we have the imagination and the intuition. And these 6 superpowers are often neglected, but they are so helpful, so needed to really bring you into the right direction. Because if you're just working with your 5 senses, so you don't see it, you don't see big goals. And this is why this is so important to use them as well. And if I'm just bringing on my little stick person here again. Hey Lena, so great you're here. Thanks for your participation. And for example, here you have the conscious part, and you can use, and the conscious and the 6 mental faculties, they are also coming in, like the, what is it? The perception, the reason, the memory, the will, the imagination, and the intuition. These are also part of your conscious mind. And it's nothing that is supernatural about it, and you can also develop them. And this is why it is so, super important topic also to develop your strength and to move forward. Okay, I will now go to decision. That is what I wanted to start with, but it came at day 8. And decision is basically that you should narrow and you should make really a committed decision to go for your dreams and to go for your goal. And this, what does it mean? It rules out all the ambiguity. The ambiguity is absolutely driving away the energy. So if you have a decision also paired with the faculty of will, like Thomas Edison here in the picture, you can sustain 2,773 trials before you have the light bulb idea and the light bulb is invented. He started with the manifest to say, I'm going to bring light to the world, to everybody. How he wanted to do it wasn't clear. It took him that many tries. Okay. So that is a favorite topic, knowing doing gap. And we're coming back to to our paradigm. Why is it that we are so educated? And you know what? I have a PhD. Why is it that we are so educated, we should know so many things, but at the end, we are not doing them? Why is it this way? And why is it that sometimes people with less education are just easier with achieving big results, become millionaires? Why isn't everybody who has like PhD a millionaire? Why are people sometimes who have no big degrees are millionaires? What's going on? And that's the reason is the knowing doing gap. It is that, again, your subconscious has this conditioning, and if the conditioning is not matching to what your conscious goal is, you will not be in the vibration, the action, and the results that you want to achieve. Next day, self-image. Again, paradigm, and I already explained it, how important the self-image is for reaching your goals. And also how easily destroyed the self-image is when we are kids, but on the other hand, also how you can become the person you really want to be, because you can rewrite it, and you can also, and it's not a scary thing, because sometimes people might think, oh, it's reprogrammed or something. You can choose what you want to reprogram, and it's also a process. And this is about self-image. This is now we're coming to the real, a little bit deeper into, wow, universal laws, they are called. And this is not the law. This is not what I intended. I was referring to the law of vibration and the law of our law of attraction. That comes later. Sorry, that is the law of compensation. And here I'm particularly going for the sense of urgency. It's called. This is a little bit to look what do people have to achieve superior results. And this, sense of urgency is one thing. And I also brought in the law of compensation. What does it need to, bring you like the money you really want? And the earnings. Next thing was persistence. And now we are starting with the superpowers. Persistence is one of our persistence is like the will, something that is really needed, like a quality. It's not a superpower, but it's a quality that you can really use for being there against all odds. Because in your big dream, if you want to become like you want to do your own business, there will certainly be obstacles on the way, people who doubt you. Persistence is it. How do you develop it? How do you climb your personal Mount Everest? That's the idea. Then attitude, that was something, and I will tell you later, that was something that really changed a lot for me to read this article, because this is something where you think, oh yes, attitude, I'm always nice to people. But are you also nice with yourself? Are you also walking the talk for yourself? It's not about first thing what you or how other perceiving you, and also what you expect from others. It's about what you expect from yourself, and also then what people can expect from you. And that was, I have to say, really something that's twisted a little bit in me, and also I was so grateful to do this lesson. So next thing is gratefulness. So if you are already loving the attitude, then you should go to the greatest attitude, which is gratitude. And gratitude is to really be deep thankful for what is it that you're doing, even though it's not that easy at the beginning, at the moment. Or it could be not easy at work, or it could be you could appreciate something that is really not easy for you. And why is that such a strong idea and also vibration that it gets going? And so gratitude is kind of a super emotion that you can start for getting into a better vibration. And the vibration is needed to have you in a higher frequency, and then let you achieve what you want to achieve. So, and this is the number 15, day 15. I worked on procrastination, and there was especially a nice comment from a Twitch user. Twitch is also a live streaming channel, and so I stream everywhere. You see me on YouTube, you see me on LinkedIn, you see me on Facebook, you see me on Twitter, and you see me on Twitch. So Twitch is normally a gamer's platform, but here somebody was coming and said, hey, what is it about procrastination? How can I work on my procrastination? How can I get unstuck? And here I also found a great article from Bob Proctor, and I worked it a little bit, like what is it that we have to do also especially with our the paradigms and our conditioning. And also what are actions that you can do that change your habits, and then also your mindset and your vibrations. Okay, and now this is when I started to go for each superpower for each mental faculty, 6 mental faculties exist a little bit more in detail. And that's intuition. The intuition is our connection to, we say when we pray, we talk to God, but when we are feeling intuition, when we are feeling intuition, God is talking to us. And that is kind of true, whatever you feel God is, but are you able to receive this intuition, or are you ruling it out? And why is it the case that sometimes the decision that you wanted to do the first place and that you changed was still the right decision to do? And why is it this way? It doesn't have to be this way. Then the next day, the will. So the will, also a superpower. What do you need to strengthen your will? And I think Bob Proctor has always a super interesting perspective. It's not that it's always on, okay, so you have to do this for doing it. It is including everything, especially your subconscious. And then day 18, imagination. So what is it that makes us humans different from the animals? So the animals can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch as us, okay? It's the imagination and the way we communicate and the, multiple ways in which we can communicate and how we want to also be heard and how we reach out through live video, for example. But the imagination is our, faculty that no other animal has. And the most important thing is we can change our environment through that, because we are not confined of living anywhere where we don't want to live. We are not confined to stay at this job that we don't like. We can either change it or leave it and use our imagination basically for that. Then the next day, perception. I'm always getting a little bit confused because I think it's the perspective, but you know what? You can have one situation, but many different perceptions of a thing. You have probably already experienced that if something breaks down, everybody is not responsible for it. If there is a car accident, then of course it's always the other one who was responsible. And the thing is, and that was also a super helpful live, especially for me, I learned so much that, it's just your perception. So calm down. A thing can be seen totally different. You do not have to slap somebody in the face, even if you hear something that you don't like. You can change your perception. And this is a winning principle. And I wished a person in Hollywood would have seen my live video. And the next day, memory is, you think, okay, memory, it's like a muscle, right? So we can improve it. It's so much more. And of course, it's a success factor if you know the name of your colleague, if you know, if you're working in a bank and so you already know the account number from your millionaire client, it's always well perceived. But on the other hand, memory can also help you to build future memories. So you're repeating this again and again, how you would like to see yourself together with imagination. And so you're rewriting your life script. And so I was talking about this, and that is also something, reason. Everybody thinks, okay, reason. So it's as Bob Proctor says, the biggest mental faculty or the most important mental faculty, because everything stems from our reason mind, so that we can analyze, we can compare, we can originate something new. And so we use our reason for it. Does it make sense? On the other hand, there is so much more, because it's not that there is one logic, it's your logic. And I think Bob Proctor has a fantastic take on this. And just moving on. It's like our greatest tool, but how can we use it to produce the outcomes that we really need? And so to be reasonable, and this is the thing about the article and the point of view from Bob Proctor, it's not that you have to be reasonable in life. It's not about that like a safe job is the most important thing for having a successful life. And what is safety anyways? So this is something that makes you think a little bit about this thing. Okay, so you have to be reasonable, but what is it really, what reasonable means? So here, day 22, how to orchestrate your faculties. And here I brought especially how you can use your mental faculties in a in combination. And of course, no mental faculty is used by itself. I already said, if you're using the idea of building future memories, you are using the imagination and you're using the imagination. Hey, and so that is something I was really surprised. If I'm looking to all the YouTube replays of this live by Mindset March, the terror barrier is it. So everybody wanted to see it, so I like dropped 3 times more. I wonder what the reason is. Maybe it's my thumbnail that I produced, and so people just wanted to say what is behind it. So what is the terror barrier about? It is basically that you are achieving your big goal. And the big goal is something that excites you. Why is it the way? Because you have never done it before. And it's something more than just buying the ice cream in the supermarket. It's something that you want to do, but you don't know how to do it. So therefore, there is a lot of ambivalence here between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That means that the subconscious mind is ringing the bell after a certain time, and you get terrified, you get worried, you have doubts, sometimes also ignited by somebody outside. So, how do you think? How would you manage that? And it's a little bit that here our subconscious wants us to protect from the lion that is waiting to kill us. Therefore, it wants to put us back into the safe place. So how to react when you hit this terror barrier, and how can you overcome it? That's the idea. And now we're coming into getting into deep into also the laws of the universe that rule us. So everything is vibration. So the matter is vibration, the thoughts are vibration, everything is energy. And so the idea is that this vibration also is responsible for what you attract. And if you are in a low emotion, so you will attract things that are connected. If you are in a higher emotion, in a higher vibration, so you will attract it. And so the law of attraction that is related with the law of vibration says like energy connects with like energy. So if you want to achieve something that is on a you have never achieved, and it's including it's something new, you have to go into the frequency, into the vibration of this. And that is like the basic explanation how it works. Was super interesting for me as well. This is how to manifest. So this is like the follow-up. So if you have this law of vibration and the law of attraction, so how do we hear it a lot, manifest? So you have to manifest something. How do you then have to use this law of vibration and law of attraction to successfully manifest something? And let me just go back. This is this old lady. Here is my favorite picture. You might have already seen it. Just as a little bit of recap. So why have I chosen this picture? I call her, this is like the paradigm grandma. And I thought it's a positive picture for well, the paradigms that we all have and that have been given to us, maybe also from family background. And sometimes it is just the way it is. Our grandparents or grandparents haven't known differently. But you know what? I thought I just take her in sometimes, because here we have like this modern old lady, and it also means that you can change your paradigm. So you can manifest yourself to be somebody else and do this with success. And so therefore I have chosen this, and sometimes I even used this picture. Maybe I still have it. Where do I have it? No, I don't. No, I don't have it. Sorry. So I will send it to you later, or I will show it to you later, hopefully. Okay, let's move on to the day 26, the efficient action. What is efficient action? What does it have to do? How do we get into the right vibration? Then day 27, abundance. Abundance thinking, we hear this, and especially Bob Proctor is using it. What is the way to think abundantly and then also change your vibration and your frequency? Then related also to the law of vibration, money mindset. So I Googled it, you know, I'm a digital marketing guy, and so I love to Google on Google Trends to see, okay, how does a certain topic rank in the Google search. And so money mindset is a typical example of just a trend. So in the last years, more and more money mindset was Googled. So what is it? How can you achieve it? And again, this is a little bit a law of vibration and attraction in practice. And the confidence. So also a related question I love to take. And here, confidence, auto-suggestion also in this regard. So what does it mean? How does it play in? Especially there is also faith playing in. And what is the difference between confidence and faith? How do you get it? What are different ways to get it? And also, like here, there is a inside job that you can do, changing your confidence or improving your confidence through the self-image and through, well, getting into the vibration and the visualization. But then there is also some practical things that you can do to bring you in the frequency as well, and into the vibration, and then signaling your body that you're the person you want to be. And confidence, super important, because without confidence, you will not achieve a big goal at all. So, and it's, of course, especially if you're working with others, it's an important thing to have. And yesterday, I was reading an article from Bob Proctor about responsibility. And here the basic idea was that you can be responsible for somebody or to somebody, but you should not actually be responsible for somebody, because this also makes the people, takes the independence of the people, and you can be responsible to yourself and to do something. But at the end, you have to have this mindset of like not being responsible to, and not being responsible for other people. But the only exclusion is if you have kids. Guys, okay, so this is now day 31. And so you're still there. Thank you. So it's day 31, and I wanted to show you the 30 chapters, or the 30 days. And for first time I'm doing this run here. But now is something that I always wanted to start with. And you know what? I'm doing this here. I am doing a live broadcast here. And the first day, especially after Bob Proctor passed away, I thought, man, he is a legend. He is also a legend of self-development, over 60 years of accumulated knowledge. But then let me also say that Bob Proctor has also this interesting side that can be explained from his mentors. because Bob Proctor was indeed a live broadcaster as well. And I think one of the greatest live broadcasters I have seen. And I have always been fascinated by how to reach out with radio, with TV, and to be in direct contact with people and to move them. And of course, you do that better if you have a, happy face and you have something to say and you go reach out without ums and pauses and stuff like that. But that's all part if you have a good self-image and if you are confident about yourself. But what I wanted to show you now is, let me just go quickly back to the presentation, and I have to take this picture back again, that I wanted to show you what Bob Proctor stands in his, say it easier, like what's the history of the whole self-development business or sector idea, and also how does it play together with how Bob Proctor became who he was. It's just a perspective. I cannot explain it all, but here let's go back into 1903. James Allen wrote this book, As a Man Thinketh. The British philosophical writer published his inspirational book, The Power on the Right Application of Thought. And he had the idea that it's the way we think about that is responsible for our success. And he wanted to give people an inspirational book that they could use for themselves, to have an inspiration and to then, of course, change what they wanted to change. And so that was the start of course, a series of now writers and thinkers who joined in. And let me take this person here, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. He was an American journalist and got to interview Andrew Carnegie, at that time the richest person in the world. Andrew Carnegie saw his talent and invited him for 3 days. And Andrew Carnegie had a plan. He was himself coming from a poor background and made it to be the richest person on earth. He met, of course, in his network, so many other people who were successful. And he thought, what is the common denominator of success? How can we explain it from, now I'm coming as a researcher, from an empirical point of view? Let's just ask them. And he asked first Napoleon Hill if he wanted to take the job to interview basically 500 of the richest and successful people. Everybody of us would have said yes, right? But the condition was that he wouldn't earn any money for their first 20 years and that Andrew Carnegie would just write the letters of reference that he got in, but he wouldn't support him with any other thing. So he asked Napoleon Hill and had a stopwatch under his table and asked him, are you willing to take the job? So as the story says, and must be some true story, otherwise would have been differently, that Napoleon Hill said yes after 25 seconds. And that was like the entry for him, because he didn't say, okay, let me think about it, I come back to you tomorrow. He said, okay, I'm doing it in 25 seconds. And so Carnegie didn't say that there's a condition, you have to say it in 1 minute. He just waited for what the reaction was, because Andrew Carnegie knew this, that successful people decide quickly and they don't change their mind for a long time. Whereas people with less success change their mind often and take a long time to decide. Okay, so we are now with here, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. And this was only written in 1937, but when you read it, it sounds so modern. And this is what I find particularly fascinating about it. Hey guys, and now this is something that I find especially exciting. So in 1950s, a radio broadcaster, his name is Earl Nightingale, took this writing from Napoleon Hill and spoke about it. He basically read it. This radio broadcaster shared the information first, like on his Chicago radio, WBIZ, I think, in Chicago. I don't know if is it still this WBEZ, I think. But he has been tremendously successful with it. People wanted to hear it. And I think he was probably, he was like the first YouTuber. He published the information for everybody, so everybody could access it, and the success gave him right. So he was the first one who have 1 million sold records with a spoken word record, basically. So the idea was born that people need this. People want to understand how they can become more successful, especially in our modern age. So Earl Nightingale founded a company with another partner, Lloyd Conant, which was then the Nightingale Conant Corporation. And they published more records, wrote more books. And Bob Proctor first got a copy of the Think and Grow Rich in 1961. He was super inspired by that, changed his life, started a cleaning company, and had tremendous success with it. So he was like earning 4,000, as he always explained, a year, had 6,000 in debt. But as soon as he changed has done his business, he earned like 175,000 a year, and then $1 million. So Bob Proctor was super inspired by Napoleon Hill. I really wanted to learn what it really was that made himself so successful. And he also got to know Earl Nightingale and Lloyd Conant, and he knew, okay, this is the company he wanted to work for, because this was something that could also help him to explain why he was so successful. So he worked as a director of sales, or first, like he worked, I think, not as the director, but he became the director of sales for the Conant and Nightingale Foundation Corporation. And then after a certain years working there, he founded his own company. And today it's the Proctor Gallagher Institute. But, you know, what I found so interesting about it, and this is just a slide, but what I found so impressive was that Bob Proctor also had the idea then to reach out with the radio and with all the possibilities that he had. You can see him, like, of course, doing videos, and he was interviewed, and he had the idea that you have to reach out with this idea. You can then fascinate and, of course, also inspire people. But if you have the energy and the frequency and the drive to do it, then of course even more people are interested in it. And so I see that, radio is also transferring these frequencies, and obviously people like to see it. And last year, in the year 2021, Bob Proctor did every month an activation of 5 days where he went live, punctual on and he went and explained the principles, explained paradigm, and had his studio to do this. And his studio was his home that he renovated basically, and he had like an extra studio part that he used. And why is that so important? Why is that such a big deal? You can also have a studio. Everybody can have a studio. I think what it shows is that we are also aware that since 2020, we are in this confinement, in the corona lockdowns all the time. And Bob Proctor just built the studio just some months before. And it was his way to reach out and speak to millions, and to do the things that he did. And especially during his live videos, their live streams, there were like 20,000, 30,000 people watching, even more if you count the other channels. And so this is a way for us all to reach out. And so this is why I find it so fascinating, especially if you're combining it with the right mindset. And today I have spoken to somebody who is now has become a super good friend, I think, from this encounter, and we will talk again. And this person is already doing a lot of live radio broadcast through Clubhouse, and she's selling a lot of courses. And she told me that, wow, so there are so many people out there who are like pushing to sell to the people to sell something, and they have their web shop, but it is not working like this. People want to buy because they want to buy, they feel it, and they think, well, that's what I really want to buy now. And especially going through live as a channel, you can see how the people are, how approachable they are, how they really know what they are talking about. And this is why I find it so fascinating, going, of course, with the right principle of the right vibration, the right frequency, going out. And now everybody can do this and be a live broadcaster. And so this is my mission, of course, to help you if you are interested in how I did it as well. So you can be a coach, you can be a network marketer, you can have your own side business. There is the possibility that you can really profit from going live with a high quality, but also with a high vibration, with the right vibration. And this is something that I would just like to invite you, as we are approaching now the hour. And I promised I have something for you. And this is my gift for you. This is an offer to book me for a 1 hour call, absolutely for free. And it's a full hour. And we can talk about everything you like, either going live or how can you use the principles and the Bob Proctor's ideas, this way to think into your results to be successful for yourself. It doesn't have to be for live video, but the question always is, so what is the big goal that you are aiming for? What is your purpose in a way? And I can help you to, get a little bit the color off this and ask you the right questions, and also focus on this goal that might drive you to the Mount Everest in this regard. And so this is my idea for us. So also my thank you gift for staying with me here for such a long time. And I'm also so this is the QR code, and this leads you to the Calendly page. And I have here, also I'm sharing this with you. This is here in the comments now. This is the Calendly link if you want to see what time slot fits for you. So that's the idea. And also, if you want to dial in, I stick to my promise. And if you have a question now, go for it. So I am here. Join me. This here is the right. What is it like? This is the right address or link. And let me also just quickly post it. And the good thing, or what I'm really happy about, is that, of course, Bob Proctor has his own studio. I also have my own studio, and I am happy to do it all by myself. And I'm happy also to show you how I did it. And I think this is something that everybody of us can manage. You will even manage better than I'm sure. And let me just walk you a little bit through, as we are still here together, what I'm doing here, how does it look before. So this is, I can change this is how it looks from behind, okay? It's not a special huge thing here that I'm having. And this is how it looks from the side. This is the microphone. And let me just take the cam now and, well, take this off and, well, walk you a little bit here through. So this is how such an overview would look like. Oops. Yeah, this is me. And this is how it would look like. So I'm using a streaming software that is called Ecamm Live, and that works with Mac computers only, but there's also other streaming software like StreamYard, for example. Ecamm Live gives you especially a lot of possibilities and lets you basically bring in your own look and feel. For example, what you're seeing not now is like the whole packaging of this live video. I always used this here, this green and my logo, and I have worked on, for example, overlays and things that are flying in, and you can always do this in your look and feel that you feel comfortable with. That's the nice thing. And then let me show you what it looks like if you are using Ecamm, and I will just quickly switch to the so-called demo view, live demo mode. I think this should be it. I would like to show you now how the whole computer looks like, and here we go. So I have a trackpad here. So this might look a little bit well, I don't know, like messy, I don't know. So we have here on the top right, do you see it? On the top right, we have the scenes. So I have here a scene window where I have basically like a PowerPoint slide, made all the different slides, but in reality, I am just using, for my main live video, I'm using one scene and I'm putting overlays on it. Overlays you find here. This is the overlay part where I can say, well, I am using now I'm taking off this overlay part and put it on again. So this makes it easy for you to put in your name, for example, or like anything that you would like to share. Then what else is there? So you can decide the cameras that you would like to plug in. Most of the live video software does not allow you to have more than one camera. And I think this is a pity, because you can have so many more different cameras on, and you don't have to, well, it's not a fancy thing. You can just therefore change your perspective. For example, I have always a second camera just as a backup, and with a camera perspectives, you can even like form two different perspectives out of one camera, which makes it just more exciting, because it is a difference if you're going live like this with also like this camera. Then you can also change if you want. Oh, look, this is the stream deck that I wanted to show you as well. Perfect. You can change the perspective and then show, okay, this is how you can then switch to overlays. And what you can do here with the stream deck is, for example, if I switch it, for example, if I click on this here, then you will see, okay, we are here in the Mindset March. This is what the title is for today. If I am, well, for example, I can quickly mute myself if there's something. I can stop the sound. I can, well, basically put a lot of hotkeys in here, so it makes it easier for me to then also, well, change cameras as you have just seen. So this is something I can super highly recommend to you, because let's be honest, so everybody can be live today. Everybody knows how Zoom works. And the question and the denominating factor is, how well are you perceived? Is it something that's pleasurable to look at, or is it something that, well, everybody turns away after a few minutes, after a few seconds even? And thank you very much, Kamal. I am so much inspired also by you. Everybody should look for Kamal in their clubhouse. And I would say, let's meet soon, okay? Live. And next question, next chapter that I wanted to show you is, especially here, it is how you can, maybe you still want to have a look, or Kamal, look at it in the replay. This is how I have used the iPad this time. So we all have these great little pads, and I think especially for you, if you have to explain something, you can make fantastic use out of it, out of the iPad. And I show you how, because I have built overlays that makes it possible for you, for example, to write on the screen. And why is it so important to write on the screen and to, for example, make remarks? Because you could easily, for example, say, I have here this drawing, and I will quickly prepare it because I've already, let's do it with you. So I have this drawing here, and I want to show you again how this works. And I want to modify it so you can quickly draw on the go. And your live audience can follow with you. The live audience can see what you're doing. Maybe it's taking you a little bit longer. And for example, you can erase that, and then you can start new. And for example, I did drawing with the stick person here, and you can do whatever you like. And it looks like this here. Let me just switch quickly the camera so you can also see how it looks like. So I am having here this iPad. I have it connected with my cable, and this gives you the possibility that you can very nicely use this on the go, and you can draw and people can see it, and you can really do great things with it, especially today as the pen is so well working. And so I found this an incredible help for me to get here, to get going and to also explain the principles. Yeah, so if you have any questions, and if you like what you have seen, and if you are inspired, all good, I would like to invite you to the YouTube channel. And so now here comes another overlay. The YouTube channel is the YouTube channel where you can find all the replays. I'm not sure if I'm leaving them on forever, but at least like for the next 30 days. And if you're interested in one of the subjects that you've just heard, okay, what is it, this paradigm thing, or the terror barrier and whatever, that's your moment, and go for it. And just to wrap up today, so if you don't want to come in live and want to say hello, don't worry, but I'm just doing the final attempt here. This is the way how you can join me, and this is the right camera. Yeah, go for it, scan it in, and we will quickly chat. So what I have learned from this live challenge that Bob Proctor gave me, hey, would you like to come on? No worries. I'm just dial in. You will be like you will come on a website, and you just type in your name and you will be in. No worry, Matthew. So you can be there. And Matthew is a live streamer as well. So he's a pro. We are both pros. So let's go for it. Come on. And of course, we will be, nothing bad will happen here. I'm here. So what I have found was really interesting for me was this thing I already said about attitude. The purpose is to do what we love, paradigms, and analyzing our past is not helping so much than moving in the future. So one thing that I have especially done for a lot of time was to overthink and think about, okay, what was happening wrong and what did I do then and how could I have done it better and who was responsible for that I'm here where I was. Okay, let's go like this. Let's type in, I send it to you as well. You type in the Join Live Broadcasting Rocks into a web browser. Then you are coming to a menu that says, well, please type in your name. Let's do it together. So it looks like this. It's fun. Hold on. If I find the right share screen page, yep. Okay, let me just show you how this goes. We are going together in my Firefox here. So this is what page you should get. So you can then type in what's your name and what's your camera, what's your microphone. It can be your laptop camera, it can be your laptop microphone, and then you're in. And then you're knocking here on my door and I will let you in. And if provided it works. And now I cannot, so just thought I cannot change the scene back. So that is something that I found so helpful with like not overanalyzing, but moving on to a bright future and moving on with the picture that is, well, engraved in my mind. And this moving on makes the paradigms blatantly evident anyways. So this is something that on the way forward, you see the things that you can eliminate. And I think that was just a relieving thought, because there's no need to stay still and to wait for, okay, what's going on. I still need to analyze my life and then to change the route or something. It will come as you move forward. And then I think technically, and I think that you see, so no live video is perfect, but it really enhanced my live broadcasting skills because I'm more in the moment. I also know now where the camera is. A lot of people said, okay, you're not watching into the camera. I wasn't, because I was reading so much, but still they were right. And I should have looked more into the camera. And so this is it. And I developed the ability of drawing live. I think that was something that I also thought, I'm not a good scribbler, or I'm not good doing nice images, but okay, I did it anyways, and it was good because it also slowed me down when I explained things, and I found that, okay, it doesn't have to be perfect what I'm drawing, but if people see it and draw it in the same time, then it's fine. And I hope you're not seeing me in the live demo mode anymore, or do you? Maybe I have to change it back. You have seen me now all in the live demo mode. Oh my. And then it's the idea that you can do so much more with PowerPoint or Keynote. So you can have a cool presentation with some animations behind and use it like a TV presenter. You can say, okay, it's coming in and out. So here I am. This is what I wanted to show you about Bob Proctor, and you can then change the slides again, and you can bring them in and out, and it still gives you more eye contact. And then there is like a program that I was using that I really liked. It's called Ecamm. Now this is a program that you normally use for overlays, but you can also use it for screen sharing. And you can then easily share your PowerPoint presentation and then go back and forth. And I found this was quite helpful because it's not so static anymore. And yeah, so to use these PowerPoints and slides and stuff, and Yeah, so I'm back also with my presentation from the start. So everything has to come together in the live video. That's obvious. And it's a little bit like a rocket launch. So you better have you have better eaten your breakfast and have been you are in your space suit before everything launches. But on the other hand, even if you're not prepared, so you can still manage it if you have a little bit more routine. And yeah, I was also looking for this thing to swim more, because it's all a question about like experience and getting into the practice and then being able to make something out of it. And so I am incredibly thankful for all of your support, you guys, and being there. And so now even you are watching. This is super appreciated. Thank you very much. And yeah, also I've seen that people are even watching it in Italian. So mille grazie per sei stato qui e hai visto tutto che ho fatto. Mille grazie. And I think you can still always switch the subtitles of the videos, but it's cool to know that you were there, and especially Matthew. So you were there often, a lot of times, and some of you haven't even shown up or haven't shown me something, but you know, it doesn't matter. This is also something I think changing the perception, to be incredibly thankful for, that there is somebody out there who likes to receive what you have. And in this regard, it made me going live and also reach out with something that I thought, okay, maybe I should think a little bit more about it. Maybe I should read a little bit more, but this is not the way to move forward again. So you can of course overthink it, and then you can read another book, and the impulse and also the moment is gone. And the great thing about the live video is that, you know what, it doesn't have to be at all perfect. It can be like this. And so Lena, you are watching this right now. Thank you so much for being there. Kamal, you have been here, and Matthew, you have been there all the time. So thank you. So this was an absolutely exciting and uplifting experience for me as well. So I wanted to thank you, and let me know if you are interested in meeting me for an hour. I am there and absolutely happy to serve you with whatever question you have, whether it be like for your goals or for your live video and how to enhance it. Okay? All the best, everybody. And I say have a great start into April, and it's going to be a super month. Remember, you have 30 days. And especially, so if you did something that is challenging you every day, wow. So March, I think the month of March was already like worth of 2 months for me. All right. So I wish you all the very, very best. And I'm looking forward to staying in touch and to seeing you live, maybe in person, anytime soon. Have a great time. Bye.